In the heart of African wilderness, where the golden grasses sway and the pulse of life beats in every step, emerges a creature of unparalleled grace and speed, the cheetah. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to learn about Elegance in Speed, the Cheetah Chronicles, a journey into the world of the fastest land mammal, a living testament to a nature's designed for unparalleled swiftness. Guys, our knowledgeable tour guide is going to talk about these remarkable felines, which are not just predators. They are poetry in motion. Their every stride is a ballet of power and precision. Join me as we delve into the intricacies of their anatomy, as we unravel the secrets of their incredible speed and witness the beauty of their existence in the wild. So, fasten your seatbelts as we embark on an odyssey into the world of cheetah, where speed meets grace and every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of the untamed.
We never make them do anything they don't want to. It's all freedom of choice based. So if Nate did not want to come back behind the scenes, I would have hopped on the microphone and said, sorry everyone, we are not doing this run for today. But she did decide to go back behind the scenes, so what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and set up for our cheetah run. Now, here at Busch Gardens, we have 9 different cheetahs that call Cheetah Run Home. All 9 of those cheetahs are in different stages of learning how to run. Sounds silly, but we do teach our cheetahs how to run from a very young age, some of them at an older age as well. And believe it or not, just like you and I, cheetahs are not the best runners when they are first born. They have to learn how to be a good runner. So they are the world's fastest land mammal, and they have all the adaptations to let them get to incredible speeds, but they have to figure out how their bodies work as they grow up. So they have to learn how to be agile, they have to learn how to accelerate, and they have to know how to maintain that top speed without completely tiring themselves out. Out in Africa, it is much different than here at the park. Africa, running is life or death. If you don't learn how to be a good runner, you don't catch your food, and if you don't catch your food, you don't survive. Here at the park, we have the whole system built around our cheetahs where we have all the needs they could possibly want. We have healthcare, we have all sorts of support for our cheetahs, and we make sure that they get 100% of their meal every single day. Now, in positive reinforcement training, what we do is we back something up that we like to see with something that the animal likes. For example, if I ask you for a high five and you give me a high five, that could be a reinforcer in itself. You like to give high fives. If it's something more like food, if your kid does their homework and they bring back a really good report card, you might give them an Xbox or something. That is positive reinforcement as well. Positive reinforcement comes in many different forms. For a carnivore like a cheetah, you can probably guess what they like to eat. They like to eat meat. We do have some of our cheetahs' meat treats out here with us, but we're not just training with food. We want to train with a relationship and empowerment. We want to let our cheetahs know that they can do whatever they like in their sessions. But if they do something that we look for and we want to see more of it, that's when we bring out something that they would want in the future, which is that reinforcement. And it can come in a bunch of different varieties of snacks like steak, chicken, meatballs, all sorts of good stuff. But to set up for this cheetah run here, what we need to do is we need to put some equipment into the ground. We don't just have a cheetah run out here and just run for the sake of running. We have a goal for them. We give them a job to do. They chase after a little moving target, also known as a lure. It's not food. Our cheetahs are not chasing after food out here. They're chasing after a simple bundle of feathers. So how do we get that bundle of feathers set up so that it's faster than a cheetah? Well, you can see my teammate over here. She is putting some pulleys into the ground right now. Once she puts those pulleys in the ground where she wants them, she will thread a long green string that came off of that machine over there through those pulleys. Once it comes back to the machine, she ties it into a loop and it goes over that wheel. The machine was built literally for cheetah runs, and I don't know if you guys can see that over there, but that's a car battery. That thing is attached to a car battery, so it goes very fast. It's a wheel that spins forwards and backwards, and it can actually exceed the speeds of a cheetah. I have a pop quiz for everyone now. Does anyone know the top speed of a cheetah? Shout it out if you know it. I heard a lot of really good answers. If you said between 60 and 70 miles per hour, tap yourself on the back. That is correct. They are the world's fastest land mammals, capable of achieving 60 to 70 miles per hour. That's absolutely incredible. But what's even cooler than that is their ability to accelerate. Cheetahs can go from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds flat. Let that sink in. That's a lot faster than a lot of cars that you'll see on the highway. Cheetahs are built for sprinting. They're not endurance runners like we are. They're built to run out of wherever they're starting from their hunt and to be able to catch that prey that they're running after. If they run for too long, they're going to be tired and their prey will get away. So, Nave is our runner that we're going to meet today. Nave is an experienced runner. The average lifespan of a cheetah out in Africa is between 7 and 9 years of age. Nave is 13 years old. She's our oldest cheetah, and she is in tip-top shape and is still running to this day. In fact, she is our fastest cheetah on record as well. She has been recorded with a radar gun running 64 miles per hour. So we're very proud of her. She's petite but mighty. She's only about 90 pounds. Cheetahs weigh between 90 pounds to 130 as a really large cheetah. So she is the smallest range of how big a cheetah can be. Now, when Nave learned to run, she learned to run because she liked to run so much. But in recent years, we've been training Nave to look closer for the lure. Because out in Africa, if you're chasing after an impala or a gazelle as a cheetah, they're not going to run in a straight line. They're going to bounce back and forth, left and right. They're going to try to lose that cheetah because, believe it or not, they don't want to eat. So what the cheetah is going to have to do is learn how to be agile. They're going to have to learn how to turn on a dime and chase after their food. That's where a cheetah's tail comes in. Tails across the cat species are really cool. A lot of tails are used for balance when climbing in trees. Cheetahs do not climb in trees. They rarely will go up into a tree. Instead, their tail is like a rudder on a boat when they're running because they're going 60 miles an hour. So what they can do is they can put their tail up in the air to put on the brakes if they need to slow down. If they're accelerating and going faster, their tail is out straight, parallel to the ground. But the coolest part is when they turn. Cheetahs can turn on a dime and accelerate back up to those top speeds because of their tail. Their tail will rotate in the opposite direction of their turn to be able to keep their momentum and not fall over. This is all really cool adaptations and amazing facts about cheetahs, but believe it or not, they have to learn how to do all those things. So right now we have a down and back so that we can show you guys speed and acceleration of a cheetah, but sometimes we like to do obstacles or change of direction. We can do zigzag patterns, we can go around a tree, or we can go around a rock. So we have different variations of what we can do with this machine. Now to operate the machine, it's really fun. It's actually kind of like a video game with a cheetah. We control that machine using a remote control. The remote control goes forwards, goes backwards, and it's got a button for go. That's it. Not very complicated. Sounds simple, sounds fun. Super fun, not simple. It's actually very difficult to do because the machine moves so fast. We have to be able to keep the lure right in front of the cheetah so that they want to chase after. If it's too far ahead, they're not going to want to chase after. That's way too much work. And if it's too close, well, they might catch it for a slower speed. If a cheetah comes out here and catches a lure going 40 miles an hour, what do you think they're going to do the next time? Probably put in the same amount of effort, right? So what we've done is over time, we've raised that bar slowly but surely and encouraged our cheetahs to go faster and faster. And it's turned into a really good exercise system that's really good for their health. We can watch what their mobility is like and we train them new things all the time. So as trainers, what we do best is build relationship with our cheetahs and teach them new things. We will be in the same space as Nave, a 100-pound cheetah. I want to impress on you guys, this is not a first day on the job kind of thing. We have to learn how to do all these things ourselves. We have to learn the relationship with all 9 of our cheetahs before we ever go into the same space as them. So using that positive reinforcement training, we have built relationships with all of our different cheetahs to be able to do these different behaviors in different areas. It's a really cool profession, and it's a really cool way to use behavior to do all sorts of amazing things with animals and improve their welfare. Now right now, Alexis has set up that machine there. You can see that the pulleys are perfectly placed to set up this track. And what she's gonna do next is she's gonna go ahead and tie a feather lure onto the string. That feather lure is very simple. It's 5 or 6 bird's feathers tied together with a bit of sisal and then attached to this green string. What do you think happens if you show that to a cheetah? Pretty much nothing. They want nothing to do with it. It's really funny. They will hiss and spit at it, they will avoid it. So what we do is we pair all their favorite things with that lure. Once they are interested in the lure, they pick up the lure and they chew on it a little bit. That's when we turn it into a game of chase and catch. If anyone has a pet cat at home, you probably have that wonderful wand cat toy that's got like a string with a feather on the end of it. It's kind of like that, but on a gigantic scale. So what we can do is we can pulse the feathers back and forth, make it interesting, and what we're going to watch is that black gate at the back of the exhibit. Once Alexis is done setting up her machine, she's going to be my safety spotter and watching the run from behind the scenes. So then she's going to open that gate when Nave is ready and when you guys are ready, and Nave will come out to chase after her feather lure. Now again, it's really hot outside, and cheetahs are sprinters, not marathon runners, so this is only going to be about a 50 second, maybe 30 seconds to a minute tops is what we usually say for the duration of our cheetah runs. Being that she's in such good shape, we should see a full run from Nave today, and my intent is to let her catch it when she's at that top speed. Now the battery is fully charged right now, and you can see how fast that feather lure runs. It's about 250 feet of track here. The track is made out of clay and sand, so it's good for the cheetah's feet. Speaking of cheetah feet though, if you did not know, their claws are always out. Does anyone have a house cat at home? Yeah, you've got those cute little paws and then suddenly large sharp nails come out of it. Yeah, cheetahs are completely different. They do not have those retractable claws. Their toes are, their claws on their toes are always out, so that they're like built-in cleats. That lets them dig into the ground and accelerate up to those top speeds. It's kind of like cleats on an athlete. So these cheetahs have amazing adaptations to be able to do what they do. And I think we are almost finally set up here so that I can show it off for you guys here today. If you haven't seen it yet, Nave is right here behind the scenes. She knows what time it is. She knows what these runs are. She hears me on the microphone. She sees her huge crowd. And she likes all sorts of interaction with the crowd. She likes loud crowd interactions as well. So once Alexis is back here, over here, we're going to make sure that this machine is operational and running. There's all sorts of cool things that we can do in these cheetah runs. We can reverse the machine so that we can do different designs of our track pattern. And we can switch it up so that sometimes our cheetahs don't even catch the lure. This rock right here, it's fancy, but it is fake, but we hide the machine underneath it. This feather lure, if we see a cheetah, for instance, lose the feathers, or they do a really short turn, they do something that we don't want to see again, we can catch this feather underneath the rock. And that's because half the time in Africa, they can catch their food. They're 50% successful when they cut out in Africa. So there's a chance they might catch the lure underneath the rock. But if Nave shows us an amazing run, she will catch it herself. So I have a question for everybody out in front of our cheetah exhibit. Are you guys ready to see a cheetah run? I think we'd be a little bit more excited than that. There's a lot of us out here. Are you ready to see a cheetah run? Fantastic. I'm going to need your help counting down from 5 down to 1. So count down with me from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's going to stop for a minute. Out in Africa would do as well. So when cheetahs catch their prey, they want to make sure that they take it to a nice shady area. You can see that Nave is covered in those beautiful spots. That's her camouflage. Believe it or not, but predators also need camouflage just like prey do. So predators will use that camouflage to get nice and close to whatever they're trying to hunt, and then they will take off running like Nave showed us here today. Now, there are a lot of predators out in Africa that know how successful of a hunter the cheetahs are. Can anyone name a bigger predator than the cheetah out in Africa?
Lion.
Lions, that's the big one, yes. So lions are smart. They will follow cheetahs and they will take their prey from them. So cheetahs have to find a shady spot to catch their breath and hide away in the shade, kind of like Nave is doing right now. You can see she's breathing pretty hard. It takes a lot of energy to run at those amazing speeds. But she has earned that rest and relaxation, and she has earned that lure reward as well. When Alexis sees an opportunity, she's going to bring out that positive reinforcement we were talking about earlier, maybe a little bit of a relationship, tell her she did an awesome job, and hopefully she understands what an amazing job she did. But I think she did a fantastic job. What do you guys think? Pretty cool to see a cheetah run? Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are here to see this, because we love what we do with these animals. These are incredible animals, and we love to share that with you. How many people have seen a cheetah in person before here today? I see a couple of hands. Awesome. Has anyone been lucky enough to see a cheetah out in Africa? No hands? I think I see one hand in the far back. Yeah, that's usually what we see. Not many people have had the opportunity to be able to see one of these animals up close in person, except for a facility like here at Busch Gardens. So this is what we like to do. We like to share with them, with everyone, how amazing these animals are, and that they do need our help and attention. There's only about 7,000 cheetahs left in the entire world. So, hopefully, I hope to help you guys care just a little bit more about cheetahs, excite you a little bit, because knowledge is power. Once upon a time, the panda was almost an extinct species, but people rallied behind them. They said, oh my gosh, pandas are too cute to let go extinct, and now they're no longer an endangered animal. So knowledge is power. People always have power to do things to help all sorts of individuals, especially when it comes to the animal kingdom. So I hope you guys have fallen in love with Nave here, even though she's resting in the shade over there. When she's done with those feathers, she should hang out with us for a little bit as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us for this here presentation. You've been an amazing crowd, and we will hang out on the microphone and answer a couple questions, or I can continue talking about Nave if she wants to join us for the rest of this session. So thank you all for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your day here at the park. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
Alright, so Nate has decided to join us for the rest of the session. She caught her breath and she was done with her feathers. This is where that positive reinforcement comes into play. This is why we can hang out in the same space as a cheetah. Alexis has lots of different reinforcement, which has taken years to build this trust and relationship with her. And it's not just all about food. It can be lots of random things, like if it's a really hot day, asking the cheetah to go to the shade, or it could be just hanging out with your favorite trainer. We have trained lots of different behaviors, but one of the most important ones for these cheetah runs is called a tactile behavior, which is what you see right now. Being able to touch our cheetahs is super important because they're athletes. They run super fast, and we want to make sure that they're in tip-top shape, inside and outside. So any sorts of scrapes, bruises, bumps, we like to check out their coat, or if they get tangled in string, we can help them out with that as well. I see a question, yes? Are their tongues rough? Yeah, it's like a house cat times 10. Nave has a very rough tongue and she likes to share that with us, but it's kind of like allo grooming as well. Some of our cats like to lick us, some of us do not, so it's all up to the individual. And yes, that tongue is for ripping meat off of bones, so it is quite rough as well. So that right there is behavior as well, asking a cheetah to leave a trainer and go to another trainer. This is one of the ways that we can move all of our 9 different cheetahs about. Being that we have 9 cheetahs here, we have lots of different locations that they can spend their day. But again, it's up to their choice if they want to go in the house or out to habitat, so on and so forth. So it's all a balance of reinforcement, what's good and what they want to do. So we can ask them to come to different locations with us with something called a follow. And this is a way that we can communicate with the animal instead of just forcing them to do things. We ask them to do things. If she didn't want to come over here with me, she didn't have to. And I'm going to say thank you for coming over here by delivering some of that positive reinforcement as well. So positive reinforcement training is an amazing tool that we can use to communicate not with animals, but all sorts of different things when it comes to people. If you have a kindergartner, there's positive reinforcement going on in their school. If you have children or a spouse at home, it works really well as well because it's all based on positivity, trust, and relationship. And that's why I can hang out in the same location as Nate here. So once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. She's going to go back behind the scenes for some well-earned rest and relaxation. And don't tell her, but she's getting a special treat. She's getting a bone when she goes back behind the scenes as well. So Dave did an awesome job. Thank you so much for joining us for the rest of the day here. We're going to have cheetahs out on habitat for free time. So if you come back in about 20 to 30 minutes, we should have a different set of cheetahs out here hanging out and playing. So thank you all so much. We're going to hop off the mic and clean up our equipment. Have a great day, everyone.
Guys, I hope you've learned the unique characteristics that makes the cheetahs not only apex predator but also subjects of admiration and conservation concern. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on your notification button so that each and every time I'm uploading a video, you will be the first person to get notified. Until next time, see you on my next video and stay curious.